Last week I was talking to my daughter and she said, "Dad, I feel like I lost this summer. This is not what I expected from this summer." And I wanted to go, join the club, join the globe. But I chose to say, it's true. This is rough, isn't it? This is not what we expected from this summer. This is not what we had hoped for when we started out 2020. When we finally do get to travel, if you want a conversation started with anybody, anywhere in the world, ask them about 2020. You will be able to talk for days about the things that we've experienced this year. And one of the common themes that you're going to hear is that idea of loss. We're all experiencing that right now. Last night in my community group, we were talking about the book of Joel. And that's a book that's written to the nation of Israel as they're coming back into Israel. They've been in slavery and they're being restored to their land again. And this is written very specifically to them. So I don't take this as a promise that was written for us, but I do see in this a character of God that is unchanging. The God that said these words, the God that gave these words to Israel is the same God. And it's a God who's a restoring God, a repaying God, a restorative God, the God that brings things back and makes things right. Listen to this verse. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 25. It says, "I will repay you for the years you have lost. For the years the locusts have eaten, the great locust and the young locust, the other locusts, and the locust swarm." 4 different kind of locusts God's going to repay for. Does that not feel like the COVID season? You start listing off the things that you've lost, and it's one after another, after another, after another, and they're in different areas. It could be job, it could be family members, it could be vacations, it could be dreams, it could be hopes. All the things we've lost. But what this verse says that I'm holding on to is that God will repay it. God will repay it. One thing we know about God is He's the restoring God. He's the repaying God. He's the I'm going to make it right God. When we look in the book of Revelation, there's countless verses that talk about how God makes it right, how God makes it okay in the end. And so today, I know we're struggling with loss. We're struggling with a lot of things in COVID. But I am holding on to, and I hope you will as well, but I'm holding on to the fact that God will repay, God will restore what COVID has eaten, what the locusts have eaten. God is a restoring God. God is a repaying God, and He will do that in this season too.